It is the third Sunday of Advent. That means Christmas is coming closer and closer, a little over a week. So by show of hand, who is totally done with their Christmas shopping? A minority. So most of us still have that joy in front of us to do some mall shopping. And let me tell you about a few things that I hate about mall shopping around Christmas. First, why do people always congregate in the most tiniest, narrowest spots? Where everybody's hardly squeezing by. They form large groups and don't pay attention to anyone who actually wants to move. And then there are those that back up without looking. I can handle those. They just turn around and don't notice what's behind them. But the worst kind that I see are those that don't look in front of themselves. They just run straight without even looking where they're going. Please teach your kids to do that. Look forward. So and then outside the mall, usually there will be some weird-looking person. Around this time of year, there are more of them, that will hold a sign pretty much like this. The end is near. We all know the world's going to end because the Mayan calendar ran out of dates and stuff. The end is near. That was the message that John the Baptist had, that Jesus preached. We would say, don't look back. Because it's not about what happened yesterday, it's about what's going to happen tomorrow. That's what Advent is all about. It's not about the past, it's about the coming of Christ and Christmas and all that. In today's passage, Luke wrote, don't say we have Abraham as our ancestor. It doesn't matter where you come from. Your resume, your pedigree, they all don't count. Your past merits. Don't celebrate your high school trophy. You're grown now. You were a valedictorian in high school, great. Get over it. What counts is tomorrow. So the end is near. Look forward, is what it says. Or positively speaking, don't be stuck in your past, because that's what Lot's wife did. They ran away from Sodom and Gomorrah, and God told her to not turn back. And what did she do? She turned around and turned into a pillar of salt. So once you're stuck in your past, you dry out like a pillar of salt, and you can't move anymore. That's what turning back does to you, because it makes you stuck back there. You can't project your future out of the facts of the past. In investments, they try that a lot, and that works better or worse depending on the year and the economy. But a projection for the future out of past facts is kind of hard to do, as any statistician would tell you. Predictions are hard to make. Looking forward is tough, and it's hard work, because you don't know what to expect. When the people came to John the Baptist, they had a clear expectation of what they wanted. They wanted the Messiah to come. And the Messiah was supposed to be a strong leader, finally setting things straight again, finally getting rid of the Roman occupation, finally bringing freedom and hope to God's people. And there was hope that God would make things right again, that there were no crazy shootings in schools or anywhere, that God would make this the perfect world God has always intended and we've always wanted. People had that hope that justice would finally prevail. Now that comes with darker images also. Because those people in front of the mall, the end is near, they will also specifically tell you who's going to hell and who's not. Because they have a clear sense of justice. You're right, you're wrong, you're going to hell, you're going to heaven. And Luke plays with that image of the winnowing fork and the unquenchable fire. That is a very powerful image. And when you look at the situation that Jesus was in Jerusalem in the first century, everyone knew what they were talking about. They were talking about the Gehenna. That is what the English Bible always has translated as unquenchable fire, hell, that kind of situation. And that was the valley of the son of Hinnom, an old valley where people basically dumped all their trash. So it was the landfill of Jerusalem. And the most sanitary way to get rid of your garbage is to burn it, right? So you don't have all the rats and whatever comes with that. So you had that huge valley full of trash that was on fire all the time. That's where trash belongs. It ought to be thrown in the fire because that's safer for everyone. Wouldn't it be nice if that were the same for evil people as well? We just throw them in the fire, get rid of them, the most sanitary way of disposal. That's how people think hell. The landfill on fire. Wouldn't it be nice for evil people to be burned, just like the trash that we dump in that valley? That's where our images of burning hell come from. And nobody does that. Nobody throws people in fire. But it's a hope of justice. It is very plastic. But the focal point of that whole fire story has always been, and Luke makes that clear, and Jesus made that clear, good news to all the people. It ought to never be used as a threat. You're going to hell. That's not how it works. That's not good news. The good news is, yes, justice will prevail. Different people use different images for their kind of justice, and some might need some burning fire to cleanse some of earth. But it must be communicated as good news. And these small guys often don't get that. Because here's the problem. Punishment focuses on past actions again. It's like looking back again. Forgetting to look where you're going. Punishment runs into people because it doesn't notice what's ahead. God is not that way. God doesn't bear a grudge. God doesn't look back. God is looking forward instead. That is why we celebrate Advent before Christmas. We don't make a big deal about the time after Christmas. We're not looking back at that past Christmas event. No, we're looking forward to Christmas, 4 weeks in a row. Advent is our time of looking forward to the arrival of Christ. God being born as a human. The divine becoming human in that manger. And also, we're looking forward to Christ's second coming. At the end of all times, when all this crazy shopping and cookie baking is not necessary anymore. When people in the mall standing in your way are gone. So, during Advent, it's not mainly the end is near. We need to turn that around. And the Advent message of that would actually be this one. The beginning is near. That's what Advent is about. The beginning is near. Because the world ending is nothing scary. Nobody's thrown into fire. Nobody does that. The beginning is near. The beginning of kingdom come. The end of the world is not a scary thing, but we call that the kingdom of God finally being out there and everybody can see it. Justice prevailing. The dead rising. That's a good thing. The end of the world is nothing scary. It's the beginning of the kingdom of God. And the kingdom of God has already begun with the birth of Christ that we commemorate on Christmas. Kingdom come is blossoming among us. It was planted in Bethlehem, in that poor stable. And it's still blossoming. It's planted but not yet in full bloom. Growing, coming, preparing, looking forward. So what will kingdom come look like? John and Jesus following in his footsteps have asked their disciples to live a reflection of kingdom come. So if we see ourselves in that tradition of following Jesus, we ought to live a reflection of kingdom come. And in today's passage, John has the same charge for us as he did back then. The crowds asked him, "What then should we do?" In reply, he said to them, "Whoever has 2 coats must share with anyone who has none. And whoever has food must do likewise." Even tax collectors came to be baptized, and they asked him, "Teacher, what should we do?" He said to them, "Collect no more than the amount prescribed for you." Soldiers also asked him, "And we, what should we do?" He said to them, "Do not extort money from anyone by threats or false accusations, and be satisfied with your wages." So in kingdom come, here's what's going to happen. In kingdom come, nobody has to be cold or hungry. In kingdom come, there's honesty. In kingdom come, force is not needed. The end is near. The beginning is near. Look forward.